Now, maybe that you'll be given a file with a .xls suffix, a extension. So these are Excel 97 to 2003 workbooks. So I'm going to save this workbook as a .xls file. I'm now going to close it. I'm going to close all of my files. And I'm now going to open up that XLS file. So open, there it is. Now you can see that right at the top it says compatibility mode. So what does this mean? Well, this is a file which is compatible with Excel all the way back to 1997. And it's quite hard actually to make Excel compatible. Once we got to Excel 2007, there were a lot of new features. And, well, how do you extend the file format? So what Microsoft did was completely redo the file format into this .xlsx and .xlsb that we had a look at in the last video. And older versions needed a patch to enable them to open up any files that were saved in 2007 or later. But it didn't always work. There were some major changes in Excel 2007, and the most major change was the additional number of columns and rows. So in Excel 2003 and below, the maximum number of columns you had was 256 going across, and the maximum number of rows was 65,536. So if I go to the bottom and I just press Control and down to get all the way down to the bottom, you can see that the maximum number of rows we got, 65,536. Now, later versions of Excel, from Excel 2007 onwards, you can go down to over 1 million rows and a huge number going right, something like 16,384 columns. In other words, because of these and many other changes, Excel will not allow me, in this particular spreadsheet, which is opened in compatibility mode, to add additional rows beyond the limit of 65,536. And that's good if you have to save this as a file that goes back to somebody using Excel 2003 or before. But maybe that's not what you want. Maybe you actually want it to be in a later format. Well, first of all, let's see if what happens when we click File. We have the words compatibility mode. Some new features are disabled to prevent problems when working with previous versions of Office. Converting this file will enable these features. So that's what I want. I want to work in the latest version. So I'll click on Convert. And it's going to save it as a different file. So I'll just put the word converted afterwards. Click Save. Now your original file is still unchanged. So if you wanted to go back to the original file, you can do. Bear in mind, in other versions of Excel, it might say I'm going to delete the original file. Here it hasn't. So it now says, do you want me to close and reopen the workbook now? So if I do that, notice at the moment we still have compatibility mode. Click yes, and it opens up the new file without the word compatibility mode. And you can now see that there are rows in addition to 65,536, goes down all the way to 1,048,000. Now we've got to over a decade and a half since Excel 2003 was released, and over a decade since Excel 2007 was released. So compatibility mode is getting less and less of an issue, but you might still find other programs that export to Excel, and most likely they'll export using the old Excel format. So if you have got one of those programs, you'll notice that you have got a restriction in what you can do. So if you want to change your Excel workbook into the more modern version, then just open it up and then go to File and press on the compatibility mode.